shuffling. Palms kinda sweaty and the locks kinda rough looking, but I ain't give a I said, baby, let's dance. I know how to cut a rug and this is my jam. Outside, twinning them, clicked up, bad bitches, whoopty-woo. Get one, party too lit, yeah, nigga, turn your bitch up. Press for nothing, full pipe down, my nigga stick tucked outside. Twinning them, clicked up, bad bitches.
Central Ohio creators, we're back with another episode. We got a special guest in the building today, y'all. We got Milli Tyme and we have Cristyn. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
Blessed.
Pretty good.
Blessed on this rainy Sunday in Columbus.
Right. Lonely for sure.
Yeah, so the first question, Milli Tyme, I have to ask you, what made you get into music?
I think what made me get into music was having a thing for sound and melodies and liking to sing a lot. I think that's what helped me, because doing poetry was cool, but it was like it wasn't enough. So, yeah, that's what gravitated me.
Okay, so how long you been doing music?
On a serious tip or just doing music? Because I think it's two different things.
You can answer both.
I've been doing music, I think, my whole life. You know, from just, I created a song when I was in the 6th grade. I recorded it, went to a studio with my uncle at the time and recorded it. It was dope. But I took my craft a little more seriously when my brother passed away after I had my son. So I think 2016 I started to really take it serious, and then 2018 I really stepped into it.
Definitely. I like that. What about you?
So I grew up around music. My dad's a musician, self-taught, so he's played in bands locally, and yeah, so he's musically inclined. So I've always been around it.
Oh, but see, someone like the viewers would know, like locally.
You never know. Yeah, you never know.
I can't think of his band name, but I'll come back to it.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but he is signed with Virgin Records.
Dope. That's big. That's big. We don't hear about a lot of artists from Columbus being signed, no matter what genre it is. So that's big.
He was as a musician.
Okay.
But back in the day. So yeah.
That's dope.
Just kind of been around it.
So my second question is, like, how has growing up in Columbus shaped your sound when it comes to music? Or do you feel like Columbus has a sound that has influenced you, or do you pull it from other regions?
I didn't grow up in Columbus all the way. Okay. No. I would say I was here for a little while, moved to Cleveland. After Cleveland, I moved to Georgia for I think we were there for about 4 years maybe.
Okay.
And then came back to finish up middle and high school. But I think just being adaptable to any environment and having, I guess, a sound or an ear for sound and melodies kind of everywhere. I think you kind of grab something from everywhere that you like. I
think with us being in the middle, since Columbus don't really have a sound like Atlanta.
I think they just haven't pulled somebody out with a unique sound. Like, we have all these other artists that they're good. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but they sound like somebody you've already heard. So they're hot. So you're gonna grab them like, oh yeah, they're good artists. No, I mean, I don't want to take away from anybody's artistry, but we've heard that. So what sounds different? What sounds unique? What is authentic to the ear, to people that people like to hear? Because the people got to choose you too.
Yeah,
that's what sucks. The people got to choose you. Columbus got to choose a different sound instead of the same way they've seen Atlanta and Chicago and New York, Detroit. Grabbing those sounds, that's cool and all, but what do you sound like?
No, that's true. That's definitely true. So you had a real big 2024.
Yeah.
You had the No Love Lost EP that was just released, and you had the R&B album, almost R&B album from January. Can you talk about those two projects? We was playing those earlier.
Yeah, how you feel about him? How you feel about him?
Fire. Definitely unique, and you definitely have your own style.
Yeah, thank you.
Your videos is fire too.
Thank you. I try to really connect and work with other people that are artists as well, because artistry is not just music. It's it's a craft. Photography, videography, video gaming, podcast, all of that is all artistry. So I work with all of those different type of people. So we'll start with Almost R&B. That was like the end of 2023 leading up to 2024 is when I started Almost R&B. I was like, okay, how am I going to do it? I started because I didn't make a lot of music in 2023. I released like maybe 3 songs. Okay. So I had kind of sat back from music because I had did a lot of stuff. I went to New York and did New York's Pride. I mean, our Columbus Pride. I changed the whole game for them. Now they got like ropes and tapes and stuff up. I had the stage flooded. I didn't change the game for them, but now, they done switched up the whole thing, but I had to stop and take a seat and focus on other focal points in my artistry craft and heal in places that I wasn't ready to at that time. So I took a step back. And then when I went back to music, I was like, this is supposed to be fun to me. Yeah. Let me make it fun. So I created my song Vibes, the one that you see at the bowling alley. Yeah. Everybody loves that one. But I created that like every other scene that I'm on. It's a good vibe. And that's what I wanted to create. So almost like I just kind of rebranded in a way of my artistry. So instead of because I've had people compare me to the female Rod Wave, I don't take that as a discompliment, but it's also kind of like I don't want to always pull on your emotions. I want to create a vibe that you can sit there. If you like to smoke. If you like to drink. If you had a cookout, you could play it. Like I want it to be so eclectic that everybody can play it. But Almost R&B, I was like, okay, I gotta do something different. I wanted to start singing, but I was like, okay, I don't want nobody to, she's not a rapper. Artistry is artistry. So Almost R&B is like, I'm still a rapper, because it started out with a tribute to Biggie, because that was one of my favorite artists. But it started out with Hypnotized, which is a cover of his song, and then it goes into Beast Mode, and then No Invite, Losing Friends and stuff like that. And that was almost R&B. It wasn't fully R&B, but you had a good half of it was R&B.
So I can tell you like a true artist, because the way you sing your songs together, it's like a smooth.
It's a flow to it, yeah. Well, she definitely helped. She definitely would lining it up, because my ears are not always trustworthy as far as artistry goes, because I'm always going to be like, oh, this is mine, I want it. Yeah, it's not how it goes. You got to step outside of what you want to hear and think about what they want to hear. Yeah. So that's how Almost R&B went for me, and I got so much love on it. So much love. It was playing in different states, different countries, great. But then I went to Georgia, and Georgia, the experience was crazy. It was great, but it was crazy. I did a podcast show with Carisha the Diva. She's got a big, huge platform down in Georgia, and I mean worldwide, honestly. But I did a podcast feature with her, but I also did a studio session at Little Baby Studio. So it was just a lot of good things, but it was also a backstory of things. It was terrible. We tried to get
crazy story.
We tried to get a rental, and it was Easter weekend. It was Easter weekend or something like that. So we tried to get a rental. No rentals left. We met a man called Mr. Lou. Shout out to Mr. Lou. Shout out to Mr. Lou. Do you hear me? It was, I ain't no small itty bitty nothing. You feel me? The car, I cannot make it up, was like a golf cart, or what was it, a go-kart. Like a go-kart. Like a human go-kart. It was a 2-door. It had a little backseat, but the backseat was no bigger than our 2 chairs put together. And it had a trunk. The trunk was like this big. You could only put maybe 2 pairs of shoes in there. But we had to get, that was the best thing we could do. There were no rentals. And he was like a little, you got to pay $200 deposit in cash. If you go somewhere, you do anything in the car I ask you to do, charging $1 million. So it was like, we just needed to get around the city.
We made it work.
We made it work, though.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So that's where No Love Lost came up. In the studio, I started it because I was just wrapped up in a whole bunch of emotions outside of the car situation and stuff with family and who we came down with. It was just, my son came down with us too, so just trying to make sure I'm still mothering, and it was just a lot. So we were in the studio, my friend KK, we didn't even know at the time she had cancer, and she had like passed out, and it was a lot. Like, she passed out in front of all of us at a restaurant. The ambulance came. It was, when I say Atlanta, we literally were not there that long, and so much happened. I was like, now that I think about it, I don't know if God's saying stay in Columbus, you'll make it there, but going to Atlanta right now is too damn much. But she passed out. She ended up having cancer. She beat it. But all of those things came from No Love Lost. Like, I still love you, but sometimes you gotta pull away from the things you love the most to get that peace of mind.
Yeah.
So that's where No Love Lost came out. I was going to release it earlier, and then I ended up losing my nephew, Kamarion, to gun violence. Yeah, I appreciate it. But that's what helped me kind of switch up the flow of, like, just my artistry, just kind of being more of a peaceful realm, more of a, like, you gotta watch what you say and what you promote. So that's where the No Love Lost came from. Like, it ain't no love lost, but I need a peace of mind.
I understand.
Sure.
Is this a project you want to tour on next year?
I'm praying that that's what happens. I do plan on touring next year. Just, however God sees fit. I'm rebranding right now. I also have a web series out that I'm about to get to recasting in Columbus. We're getting new camera guys, new editors, all of that. So yeah, we already did the 1 through 5. I finished editing 5, but it's just like I was telling about the green screen. I was like, man, trying to be that type of artist, you're like, okay, maybe I need to stick to music and let somebody else do it. So rebranding for all of that and my music, and like making it a little bigger and a bigger team. And really coming up with a team is what 2025 is going to be, just the rebirth.
Okay. Do you direct your own music videos?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I don't shoot my own. I don't edit my own, but I definitely, this is how I want it done. Yes, very much.
Your videos, you got some of the nicest videos in the city.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, we support everybody. Like,
yeah, thank you.
Supporting the city and pushing the city forward. So everything you need us to post on.
Yeah.
Watch you.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Yeah. So, like, when it comes to, like, Columbus is, like, the artist here, is there any artists that you want to work with that you haven't yet?
Yeah, for sure. I want to work with artists like, I would say MG Sleepy, because he influences a lot of our kids.
Yeah.
So why not change the dynamic of it? You know what I'm saying? You could be all of this, be all of that, but why not change the way that they view how you want to step on something that stands for business, that, you know what I'm saying, words don't hurt you that much to where you got to do all of these things these kids feel like they need to do. Change it.
Yeah.
But it start with you that's influential. Forget what somebody's saying, but him, I would love to work with him because I like his cadence. I like the way he delivers. I think 40 would be a good person. Trying to think of some other. It's a lot of talent out here, honestly, in Ohio, period.
Yeah.
Like, it is a lot of talent out here. I can't think of any some more female artists as well, for sure. Like R&B singers, love them. I do Afrobeats. I love Afrobeats. But like more of those artists, just people who are set out not to put a marker on how different, or set out not to put a cap on where to go with it. Just kind of letting it flow and being your authentic self. Just being around more artists like that.
Okay, cool. So my next question for you is, would you want to sign to a major label, or would you want to stay independent?
I think all of our goals are to be signed major, not just for the status, but for the security. You know what I mean? Financial security is the ultimate goal off of my craft. Doing what I love and being paid to do what I love. That's the ultimate goal for me. So if that is going to come initially from a major label, cool.
Yeah.
But if independence comes with that too, cool. Whatever, God. I think I trust alignment and I trust my discernment on knowing what's right for me and what I'm supposed to be doing. So if it's, even a distribution deal, you have to start somewhere. And if that starts with a major deal, we're going to rock with that. And then we're going to go where we need, you know what I mean? You get everything we experience in life is an experience and a lesson, and you got to gain whatever you're supposed to from that lesson and teach and pass it on and take it back to your peoples and pass it on. Like, you know what I mean? That's just how it goes to me.
That generational wealth and mindset for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you did any big performances this year?
I've done a couple big ones this year.
Any festivals?
Yeah.
I didn't do Pride this year. No, I did do Pride. I kind of sat out on Pride this year, because they changed the dynamics and they changed the people who were like in charge of it. And Pride is not so black here in Columbus, Ohio. We don't really have like a, we have like those, but it's not super black here. So it's like also being very careful with that too, because I'm very pro-black, very much. You know what I mean? So I just want to be careful with that too, because if I'm walking and trying to embody something and, building a brand off of something, I have to walk in that same thing. So I want to stand for that if I, fall for anything. But
you've done Backwoods and Bonfire.
yes, I did that. That was in Detroit.
So
I did that. It's been a couple of them, to be honest with you. I don't even keep up with them. I just go to them because I love to perform. I love to show up and turn out.
You did Sully's yet?
Yeah, I did Sully's this year.
How was that?
Sully's it looks so great on camera. Like if you go on my social media, there's this video that I don't know, to me, if I was looking up and looking at me, I would have been captivated, because it just looks so real, like an artist performing. But it was probably one of the saddest days I've ever had this year. On the way to the performance, I found out, I was telling you about my nephew, Kamarion. He had got shot that day. He didn't pass away until I found out he passed away as we were on the way to the performance. So, and I was like, I can't stop now. But I was like, I'm glad I'm not performing anything sad. But I got up there, I still did it. And, still, you keep that same, because at the end of the day, you are your brain, you're walking it. So you have to keep that same poker face on. So I did, but afterwards, whew, emotions, it really hits you afterwards, because it's real.
Growing up, did you have a favorite artist whose style you kind of brought on to your style?
I think growing up, I mimic Biggie. I love Missy Elliott. DMX for sure. Mystical, because I thought it was funny. Yeah, I thought it was funny. Nas too.
You have a top 5?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't have a top 5. Probably, the ones that I named, like DMX, Biggie, Missy Elliott for sure, and Nas would be like my Pac for sure. Pac too. I love Pac. R&B. Jamie Foxx, I love him.
Yeah.
Christopher Maurice Brown. You know what it is. I ain't nothing that you can never forget him. He's really first, but Jamie Foxx older, so paying homage to the oldest. Who else? Tank. I like Summer Walker a lot. I like SZA too. I like how Summer Walker, her marketing for her, over it, still not over it, finally over it. I loved how she did that. SZA too. Leon Thomas. He's now getting the buzz I think he's always deserved, though. Because in August Rush, I was like, who is this little boy singing like this? I thought he was dope back then, but I'm so glad. Like, even from Disney, I'm just glad he's getting his flowers. He definitely deserves it. Jacquees, people kind of, they talk about his voice, but I feel like this new Jacquees is.
His last album was hard.
Yeah, this new Jacquees, I don't know if it's because we the aunties and uncles, so they say now, but I think it's real grown up. He's developed better. So I definitely, I vibe with it for sure.
What about you?
I definitely like Summer Walker for sure. Monica, like Christopher as well. I love Monica.
Right.
I do. Joe. Can't forget about Joe. Uncle Joe.
Honorable mention.
Michael Jackson. For
Yeah.
sure. I mean, he's all time.
Yeah.
If you love music, you love it.
Yeah.
For sure. And I don't really have a favorite. But yeah. I mean, other than
Oh,
Milli
me?
Tyme.
Oh, yeah,
You
the
know,
spirit.
like,
Okay, put
I
a real
just-
nigga music on your playlist.
no, for real. But
Yeah.
like you said, you hear people that sound similar to other artists and stuff, but like, if you take the time to listen, I think people don't take the time to listen or open themselves up, open their mind up to listen to something else outside of their norm.
Okay.
Um,
That's the name of the web series.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, but it's kind of
but
like,
it just makes sense. But if you take the time to listen, like it's a different sound. And you can really appreciate music that has substance.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, like of course, like the artists I name as well, like you just appreciate good artists and their artistry.
would I ever think without you from the beginning to the end? Always been there right beside me, so I call you my best friend. Okay? That's why that's my dog.
Yeah.
You need them too. You
Yeah.
need people like that on your team for real. It's hard to find solid ones now.
Yeah, well, you know when you do though, you just without a doubt, without a question, you just know, they push, you gonna swing.
Right. Facts. So like you have a lot of different samples on your albums.
Yeah,
How do you pick those?
I think whatever beat really speaks to me, I think she can attest to this. Hearing me go through beats, I have so many people send me beats, and like I wish I could find a producer that could just sit down and we just together.
I'll have someone for you.
Well, we need to connect because I'm so like the samples. I love them, but it's like that beat has to personally speak to me. If it doesn't, then it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's kind of like that's what takes sometimes the artists like me a long time to put out music, because if I don't resonate with the beat and I don't feel like me, I like the groove, I like the bounce, I like the dance, I like to have a good time. So if the beat doesn't do that to me in one way or another, and I'm like, okay, I can hear something automatically, I'm like thinking of a hook or thinking of a bridge or something that I can put on this, throw it away.
Yeah.
Or it's not for me. I ain't gonna say throw it away because it might be for somebody else, but it's not for me.
So are you a writer or do you freestyle?
Both.
Okay.
But for the most part, I think it's smart to write down too. You can freestyle. That just means that your brain can retain and repeat. You know what I mean? That's a gift as well. But for me, I think writing and being able to memorize is the strongest tool. Like being able to write and then going to remember something, or writing it down and like remembering, because it's cool to freestyle, but what substance does it have behind it if there's no meaning? I'd rather write. And like I originally said, I love poetry, so those two, writing and poetry, is just one-on-one. So I feel like you can have a little bit of both, but even with the freestyling, it's like with me, it's like I don't want to revert to over here, because sometimes even though that's what makes sense with freestyling, but you have to read, you got to do a lot, and I'm like, listen, I read and do all of that, but I also feel like for me personally, my realness comes out right.
Now, do you still perform any poetry? Have you thought about adding like a poetry piece on your albums or anything? Like how you mentioned you do the prayers.
I thought about it. I did think about that, but I just also was like, I don't want. I had on my. If you listen to almost R&B, that's kind of like I put a beat behind it, but it was just like spoken word, just like me letting people know it's no love lost. If I lose you on this journey, just know that I love you and I'm chasing a dream that nobody can stop me from chasing. You know what I mean? Like the reality is I feel it in me, not on me. So I know I'm supposed to be doing this, but I was already kind of doing that without thinking about, but I guess I ain't think about like writing it down and stuff. The intro to No Love Lost I just did.
Okay.
So.
Oh. I have to ask you, what was y'all's thoughts on the Drake versus Kendrick?
You want me to start?
I mean,
you want me to start? All right.
Go ahead. I mean, and all be all.
I say this with love. I say this with no ill intent. I say this from the bottom of my heart. I absolutely love Drake's artistry. I absolutely appreciate and love Kendrick's artistry. They're both good artists in their own individual way. The point that niggas are missing is Kendrick was trying to teach you goofy niggas a history lesson. Y'all missed that he said, hey, y'all clapping for this dude, but homeboy down the street that sounds just like him, y'all wouldn't clap for. But when they put somebody that's more appealing and aesthetically pleasing to y'all's eye and sit him with all this money and, oh, he's already been on this and validate him, y'all push him to go. And we told y'all that he stole and done wrong to all of his friends. We told y'all this and y'all still applauded, but you're disowning your cousin for doing the same thing. You not talking to your mama because she feel like you did the same thing and y'all can't have a conversation. Kendrick was telling niggas to come together. Fuck the bullshit. They had us in chains and shackles. Are y'all not listening? Like, antennas not on? That's what he was saying. He was really giving a lesson and like, hey, instead of really pushing him up, push somebody like me up. I didn't just win these Grammys because I was talking about bullshit. I won these Grammys because I was talking about stuff that they didn't want y'all to know. And they know that what's the easiest way to get niggas? Sexy Red, Drake. You get what I'm saying? And it's no offense to them or their artistry, but it's like, why not put these type of people in front of people who, even me, I take it even further. As a teacher last year, because I was a teacher last year. Knowing that kids in the 5th grade on up to the 8th grade, and I taught K through 12, the substitute, cannot read or even identify. Why not put something that they can't read or identify or even understand or grasp the concept of what you're looking at in front of them? I know how to influence them. We started young. That's why you got the little artists talking about drilling, and then everybody else is like, no, don't do that. But y'all still glorifying the adults that's around him doing it. That's the problem. So I feel like people ain't think that deep, but I'm also a Gemini, so I'm going to think 20 times deeper. But I feel like people miss that whole, like, hey, you don't do your friends messed up. You move with loyalty. You move with love. You're intentional with everything that you do. And you don't do people dirty just to get ahead, no matter what. That was Kendrick's whole lesson. Hey, don't be enslaved on things that go back, teach your people. Hey, build a community. That was his whole lesson. That was my whole point. That was, I'm like, yo, I ain't get the whole, and I mean, he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that was his whole message. That's how I took it. You?
No, I mean, you pretty much laid it out. You broke it all down. You laid it out there. Like, I mean, I agree. And like you said, like, why y'all not pushing me when it comes to Kendrick? They push J. Cole to the side. You know, when, I mean, even with Pop, like, for real, if you're seeking with substance, if you're pouring into our communities, if you're trying to give us knowledge, then they don't want you to shine. You're going to put things in our faces, you know, to...
How do you self-destruct?
Yeah.
For example, what's that? Right, what's that podcast? It was another dude that did a podcast show. We was just talking about it. It's been going on Facebook. He was from Akron.
Oh, the dude from Akron.
Yeah, he said Columbus folks can't dress wild or don't have no style. That's cool, you know what I'm saying? But here's my thing. Why take offense to somebody that, you know what I'm saying, he really trying to turn up for a city. I'd be like, man, come on now, let's make it a big thing. Everybody throw $50 in the pot and we're gonna make a ball. We're gonna have a ball. We're gonna have security, all of that. Everybody, let's make it a healthy competition instead of y'all turning it into. I seen a status today like, oh, them acting, don't y'all go down there, them acting people will kill y'all.
I'm taking it too far.
Damn, overseeing you can't dress, boy. I hate to see what you say if I tell you your breath stink.
Yeah.
Like, damn, dog. Like,
I had the last guest we had, he had told us that they did some like list in the New York Magazine. They listed Columbus as third as the most fashionable place in America.
Because it is. People come to Columbus, Ohio, and I will say this until the day I die. They come and steal from us, from the artists. I've had people that were from New York copy my entire song. I ain't never said shit. I ain't never went on no platform. I ain't never dogged them. I ain't never even put their name out there. I've had other artists steal my song, cadence and all. They put a whole different name to it. All of that, beat and everything. Cool. Don't give a damn. That's one. You know what I'm saying? When you 1-to-1, you can have that. I'm going to do 27 more. You're not going to be able to keep up. I'm cool.
Yeah.
But they come here and steal our style. Even from the men that aren't, the feminine men or whatever they want to call them. But I'm talking about salad. They moved from Columbus, Ohio, but a lot of them can dress. A lot of them have style. A lot of people do. You do got your rocker wearing FUBU, but most of them is auntie and uncles.
Yeah, facts. The only person that I can think of that actually lived in Columbus in the early 2000s and actually showed love to Columbus like that is Cameron and Dipset.
That was it. That was it, though. They was the only ones that really showed love to us. Bow Wow apologized. Let it go. He was young, though. Can you really blame him? Bro was a kid and moved away for the greater good. Are y'all really mad? Like, even though he did, are y'all really mad? Now y'all see what Hollywood does. Are y'all really mad?
Yeah, I should be mad at him or Lotto.
Lotto still just was born. Y'all mad? You get what I'm saying? It's mad over stuff that's one, out of their control, and two, y'all just want to pick and choose what you want to pull out of people.
Yeah.
That's just the world we live in now.
It's interesting. What do you think Columbus needs to, like, show more love to each other and stuff? Do you think we need to all like have like a music convention where we all can sit down and like figure out like what we need to do to like take the city to the next level? Or do you think it's egos?
I think it's a numerous of things. I think, like she said, people don't take the time to listen. It's egos. I just did a competition in one fair and square. The crowd graded. And that's cool. I don't mind those. Even if I take an L, it's like, all right, cool, I did my thing. You know what I'm saying? I know what I need to work on. If I felt imperfections or I watch it back and I'm like, okay, this is not it. But just the side eyes, the people not respecting your set, just, I don't know, I guess it just is like the level of just knowing that it's okay if that's not what's in you. Knowing that it's okay if you don't sound good. Knowing that it's okay if music's not for you. Like, you might be a good, that's like me and you both making music. You know what I'm saying? But you hearing my shit, you like, shit, I'm really good for it. But you still making music. But you know what I'm saying? People have told you like, but it's cool. But you got a couple people like, oh yeah, bro, just kind of, oh yeah, I heard it. They're not being honest with you. But they're like, oh yeah, I fuck with that. But you hear them bumping my shit, but they not bumping your shit. Or they, you know what I'm saying, say, oh, they share my shit like that. Columbus needs that. It's cool to support. The shit is free as fuck.
Yeah.
It's free as nothing. It don't cost nothing to share, click, like, and blow up how you do every fucking body else that you see on the bigger platforms that you're aiming for.
Y'all share all the negative shit in the city.
Y'all share all and be mad when people call the city negative. Like, duh. But a convention would be cool, but it would have to be like, maybe like a see how niggas battle, like something fun. Bring a couple of niggas to battle rap. You don't have no time to, you know what I'm saying? But like something like that for everybody who, put people, or not even a battle rap, but a song battle. Have a song battle challenge, like a versus. Like, okay, you think that's what you standing for? I got these 5 songs. I know I'm gonna shit on all 5 of yours. Oh, you think so? I got these 5. Okay, well, let's do it like that. Let's let a whole crowd of people do a listening. They got their own, all of that. What song? How many people like song A first over song B? They raise his hand. How many people like song? You get what I'm saying? Do it like that. So, and not to say that they're validating you, but also give the critiques. Hey, this part of your artistry you need to work on. This part of this you need to work on. But giving people that honest, real, authentic, no butter, bullshit feedback that they need in order for them to grow. Like, if you see your friend and they're like, oh yeah, I like the rap, but she's a mom with 4 kids, why does she have to be super provocative?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the case, that's why a lot of, I guess for me, it's like, I see a lot of Ohio artists, they see what other people do, they grab it, they try to adapt to it, and then if it doesn't work, they try something else and do the same thing. Yeah. I think it needs to be an authenticity party.
That's dope.
Who the most authentic? Like, authenticity party. We want to see what the most unique sound is. That'll remove every ounce of bullshit. Take 5 seconds, and it'll take you to hear something 3 times and know if you like it.
Yeah, definitely. So what's your plans for 2025?
I plan on being famous.
I know that's right.
I plan on being famous, taking it to the top. I plan on being famous and really being the one to step out there for the city and like still I ain't out of touch, you know what I'm saying, but I'm here, y'all, like, hey, I'm, you know what I'm saying, once it happens I'm gonna have to get up out of here because we know how hate it is in the city, but I still want to be able to be in touch with everybody and be able to help the city grow. Like, I don't want to keep looking at Atlanta for inspiration or Chicago or Cali or looking at, we becoming the mecca of our own city. And why not be that? So that's what I'm looking forward to. 2022 is growing for real, bigger and better.
What about you?
Same thing, just growing, perfecting things that I have going on and, crush my goals one by one.
You have any projects coming?
I do. I have some very exciting things coming. Not going to speak on right now, but we'll definitely circle back to it.
Yeah, you definitely got to come back.
For sure. But yeah, some things, we excited about.
Dope. Do you have a favorite bar you've written?
Oh yeah. That I've written? I don't know if it's a favorite one. I'll be like, what, talking about pressure? I'm pulling up pressing big belly zone in the flavor lemon pepper. I don't know why I like that. It's so silly, but it's like, niggas be talking about who pressure. Me. I'm pulling up pressing shit. Got on some fly ass shoes, like lemon pepper. Got my butters on. That's how I feel, but I don't know. That one, who really wanted, niggas know I'm coming. Like,
what side of the city did you grow up on?
Oh, east side.
Okay.
East side,
Okay.
But shout out to all of them. Yeah, east side, same, right at that same alley, by OSU East.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the Mount Vernon area?
Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
I'm not from here.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Mansfield.
Okay.
So,
yeah, north side. But she in Northern Ohio, Mansfield.
Yeah. Okay, what was it like growing up here?
In Mansfield, everybody thinks it's like country and a whole bunch. It's like they think it's like a hit town or whatever. It's not. It's small city. Family feels. I mean, you got the drama. You got things that you got in every city, but for the most part, Mansfield, you have like a community. At least I had a community growing up. So I am grateful for that.
That's dope.
I ain't going back right now. Would not go back.
So the music industry can be tough on a lot of artists. How do you deal with like your mental health when it comes to like certain like when for like how can I put this? I guess like for some artists they get to a point where they've been trying to like grind so long they get to a point where they feel like
you knuckles. You frustrated. You stop. You at a standstill. How do I deal with it? I'm dealing with it now. You keep going, nigga. For real, like, you gotta think, no matter what, no matter where you think you are exactly where you're supposed to be. No matter what you think you're supposed to already make it God, whoever, Allah, Yahweh, whatever you believe in, you are being aligned with how you're supposed to be successful. Every time we take a further step and we think we get knocked down or anything, it's preparation for disappointment when you're in a bigger position. It's preparation for being in a bigger position. So it's like, I may not be where people are like, oh, she's still in the city, she ain't made it nowhere. That's to you. But I'm still trying to make it to where I'm going, and you don't know what's aligned for me, but you see me trying. One thing you can't not applaud for is the effort. But I think as far as mental health goes, I think whatever vice, and not as far as drinking, because I'm not big on drinking. I do partake in marijuana, but that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? If it's a you thing, it's a you thing, but that's my thing. But also in a healthy way. But I feel like whatever your vices are, if you meditate. If you pray, but you have to take time for yourself to sit, think, and clear out your mind. What's in control, you control it. What's not, don't. We let so much stuff keep us in shackles, and I don't want to keep it that way. So I think me being able to decipher and distinguish on what's mine and what's not, what's for me and what's not, and just kind of not taking things so personal and like leaving it on me. I think those type of things help with my mental health to be where it's at and just not trigger certain parts to where I'm off the deep end, you know. But I definitely believe in, if you feel that way, you gotta talk to somebody. You gotta get the help. You gotta just try. Even if you ain't used to it, just try. I don't give a damn. If you scream, you gotta let those emotions out. And bottling it up and say.
Yeah. Sorry, my sister was calling and stuff like crazy. But no, I agree. When it comes to like your mental, just for me, I talk about it a lot. Not all the time, but like I'll voice it, or I'll say it out loud even if I'm talking to myself or I'm talking to my dog about it. Like my dog's not gonna say nothing back, but or pray. Like she said, whatever it is that helps you. But I would say just knowing what your triggers are or learning what they are. Not being afraid to not be okay at times. Not being afraid to let people know that you're not okay. Again, not taking things personally, but that's a process too. Because if you've been through things like all of us have, certain things can trigger stuff. So just try to bring yourself back down. But yeah. Talk to somebody for sure.
Talk to somebody.
Talk to somebody, talk to God, journal it, whatever you need to do.
So what type of legacy do you hope to leave behind us all men?
I hope I leave behind the most, and I guess the most impressionable one, and not just the one that's like, oh, no, sure. Just to think about me, the thought of me even leaving would just completely dismantle me. That's the type of legacy I want to leave. Like, to where it'll be like, Dios míos. Like, people just going crazy, falling out in the street. Like, I want to bring that much love to people, that much light, just that much. Because I played all day. Like, you would think I was a kid, how childish I could be sometimes. But I feel like you're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to do everything fun. You're supposed to spread love. But I want to leave like a loving, fun, just the way people remember me. They can never not describe me as such a inspiring and just inspirational, and just people to be like, oh yeah, I gotta be like that or better when they get older, Just somebody positive.
No, I like that. What about you?
I would say showing love, spreading love, because I'm naturally a nurturer, and through that, just learning my balance and stuff. But yeah, just letting people know that they're loved, that they matter for somebody.
Okay. If you was to write a book right now about your life, what would you call it?
this ain't it. This ain't it. And that can go so many ways. This ain't it. This is not the stop. This is not the start. This ain't the beginning. But this ain't it. Damn it.
Man. I don't even know. She's so silly, man. Like, this ain't it. No, that's a good one. Yeah, Christina hit it a whole bunch of dots. A whole bunch of dots behind it. To be continued.
Right.
Yeah, to be continued.
Yeah.
Christina, and you see an echo somewhere.
Do y'all follow like everything that's going on, like hip hop and celebrity news and everything like that?
Yeah.
What do y'all take on what's going on with Lil Durk?
I don't follow a whole bunch of that.
I do. I feel like with Dirt.
I've seen like the New York police said they're trying to ban drill music.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I feel like my problem with, I guess I'm so sad for Dirk because it was like he was on his way out of that. But when you were in position, and we all can put our unwarranted opinions. So I don't want to offend anybody, and I don't want to give off that it's offensive, you know. But when you bring people like Vaughn onto your team, and everybody's in position, that means what we did before, your life has changed. So when your life has changed, that means you are supposed to change, growth. You know what I mean? Change, maturity. You were blessed with an abundance that not every boy that looks like you was blessed with. Then you turned around and you brought it back to the people that you love, and they were supposed to do the same thing. But before they did that, you were supposed to grow as a man, and you didn't grow. You still were a boy. So I hope that, because this isn't the first time that he's been in this trouble while he's been in the spotlight, I hope that he didn't have any connection with that, because it could very well be his peoples around him that he, you know what I mean? They're like, well, we're going to do it anyway. He could have been like, nah, don't do none of that. And they do it anyway because it's I don't know why niggas like to play Call of Duty in real life. Like, you don't come back from that shit, nigga. Like, you don't. There's no more lives. You're not a cat, nigga. You don't get 9 lives. You're not a games console. You can't just restart that bitch. It don't work like that. It's
I think that's like a disconnect for the kids now too. It's
like
they know how to separate fantasy
and reality. I'm telling you, with my son, I'm on him about that every day, because I need you to know that this is real life. In the game, it look fun. On the game, it sounds fun. These people are so trustworthy. You don't really see them. They just virtual reality. The problem with that is I cannot have you thinking that is how the world will be when you open up the front door and walk out and go down the street. Shit can get different. So I feel like for Dirk, shit for him got different when he was trying to be different. You know what I mean? When he was trying to really leave that lifestyle alone. The problem was they dug up everything on Vaughn as soon as he passed away. Everything. Which was messed up, because y'all should have did that when he was here. Why wait until he's gone? Y'all knew all of this while he was here. So if you were going to do that, you should have did that while he was here to hold him accountable, instead of making that man. That's about legacy. He did something different for, we're going to take it a different turn. He did something different for his generation of legacy. He was able to make a mark on the world regardless if it was drill music. Vaughn was great at storytelling. His storytelling, like him, even how he explained how he came up with it. He's sitting on the bus, patting his leg, coming up with a crazy story. I thought that was just so, I said the way that he thought, if people took the time and really sat down, listened to him and talked to him, and he got around, the right mentors. The same thing with Dirk. They wouldn't have been in the position they were in when Vaughn was alive, when they both were locked up. And he wouldn't be where he is now, because you wouldn't, people like that you have around that were even willing to do it if he did pay him, which I don't think, but even those who did it without you having to, but still knowing that all of this shit tied back to you because you the bread and the butter. We fucking up the bread and the butter for a fantasy, for my feelings hurt. My feelings hurt. Y'all killed my friend. Now my feelings is hurt. And I feel like I'm supposed to do this. What did that avenge? Nothing. Now nigga, either you locked up or you on your way to death too.
That's true. A lot of these kids don't have emotional intelligence too.
Say that again. That's the scariest part too, because they ain't taught it.
Yeah. A lot of us aren't.
Yeah.
Black men and black women growing up, so it's tough. And now you got Columbus rappers, high schoolers making drill music, dissing people's dead family members and stuff. And it's like
shit like that need to be like. I feel like stuff like that. You start as soon as somebody see that and it's a kid in school.
Tell the parents.
Get to their parent. The same way y'all hold them accountable for, because that shit starts with them in the booth, then they bring them guns to school, then we got a bigger problem. So it's like, as soon as y'all hear that that's even a thing, either you're going to be expelled or you're going to be the fuck expelled. I will be strict on that shit. You got to take it back old school and stuff like that. Put that back on their parent. Like, hold the parent accountable, because now you got to hold your head up. I get the pandemic that made a lot of people disoriented, but we're going to have to put the big girl panties on, big boy boxers on, and get to it with this parenting shit, because these little ass kids have lost their mind. Like, they ain't got emotional intelligence. They don't even know how to emotionally regulate to even be coherent on what you're talking about. And that's the bigger problem, but they don't even see that displayed at home, so how can you blame them?
Yeah, it's true. Can't even blame them. It's crazy.
Facts.
You have a message to the Columbus youth?
Yeah, just stay in your lane. If you do like to do music, make it to where it's fun. What's your goals? Make it substance. Make somebody want to listen. Like, I don't care about you walking down on nobody. That's cool and all, but what happens when they walk down on you?
Yeah.
I want them to dig deep from within, like really channel everything. Start to write down how you feel. Don't hold it up inside.
Journal.
If something bothering you, journal still, but tell somebody. If it, you know what I'm saying, somebody that you can trust. Is always a teacher, a friend of a parent, all of that. But I just feel like just us as people, not even just to the youth, need to be more involved. We need to be more involved, more of a village and a community, and build. Like, chin up, build up yourself first.
Definitely.
I would say it's okay to be you. It's okay to like whatever fashion, throw whatever outfits you want to throw together, wear whatever shoes you want to wear. If you go to City Trends, if you order them from Fashion Nova, if you get them from Walmart, if you get them from Target, it is okay. Don't let nobody tell you that you gotta have the latest Jordans or you gotta be up to par. Be yourself, because those people will later wish that they was true to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. And it might not make sense right now, but later it will, and you'll be proud of yourself. So start right now. Love yourself.
First.
Love yourself first, for sure. Be authentic. You want to shout out your socials?
Oh yeah, it is. Y'all see on the back, MILLI to the TYM to the E. That's me. On all social media platforms. On Instagram is Milli Tyme, but it's a dot in between Milli and Time. All platforms, music, all that stuff. Love out now, no love outside now. Stream my music, you feel me?
Yeah. Oh wait, mine is the same as well. It's 2_ love with 2 E's Jones.
Okay.
Love Jones.
Okay.
On all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Threads. Yeah.
Okay. Thank y'all for coming and being here. I appreciate this a lot.
Thanks for
Any promotion, anything, you guys can come through here.
For sure, for sure.
Green screen, we got a videographer. I can definitely come shoot a music video here wherever you guys need. Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Definitely.
Well, thank you for having us as well. I greatly appreciate it, man.
Thanks for
Definitely a
having
pleasure.
Central Ohio creators, we just wrapped up another episode. We out.
Peace.
If nobody ever said it got me